With that, let me recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Thompson, to inquire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit this article into the record. It reads, the headline reads, Trump vowed to eliminate the debt in 8 years. He's on track to leave it at least 50% higher.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here this morning. When the President and the Republicans pushed through their tax cut last Congress, the warning from Democrats and outside experts was very clear. If you pass an irresponsible $2.3 trillion tax bill that explodes our national debt and deficit to benefit the richest Americans and large corporations, it will inevitably be working families and our nation's most vulnerable who end up paying the bill. This president's budget, unfortunately, could not be clearer in bringing that warning to reality, as this budget reads like a laundry list of cuts to our country's essential programs. $500 million in cuts to Medicare, $1.5 trillion from Medicaid, cuts to CHIP, food stamps, affordable housing, the list goes on. All while the very same budget would make permanent a reduced top rate, an over $11 million estate tax exemption, and a host of other loopholes benefiting the richest 1% of Americans. And as disturbing as these cuts are, as harmful as they are to children and to seniors, the president's budget will add $1.1 trillion to our deficit next year. And that, I might add, is based on numbers that most experts don't see as real. The 3.2% economic growth, far above the 2.3 growth that CBO says that we should be expecting, which, by the way, drops in the out years in 2019 to 1.8%. Secretary Mnuchin, could you please explain to us, to the children and the seniors across the country who are going to be expected to pay for these tax cuts, to the richest Americans, why they should be paying for that?
Thank you very much. So first, let me just comment on the tax cuts themselves. As I've said in the past, I do think with additional growth, the tax cuts—
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary, we've got very limited time. We know what the tax cuts did, but this budget makes children and seniors pay for the tax cuts that the richest people are going to receive. And can you please justify that?
I don't believe that it's paying for the tax cuts, as you've said. I believe that the tax cuts will pay for themselves through previous growth. What I would say is that on the things
that has never happened. You know it, and I know it. And the budget is very explicit. The cuts are right there in black and white. We've all read them.
Mr. Chairman, can I answer the question? Or
by precedent, the witness can answer the question.
So again, I just want to separate the two issues. The previous tax cuts, okay, which were $1.5 trillion, okay, the difference between policy and baseline is $250 billion. That takes it down to $1.25 billion. Based upon growth last year alone, that will bring this down to $850, which is a simple math. If we do get the growth we expect, they will pay for themselves. Now, as it relates to the budget going forward, we have not cut those programs. We've reduced the rate of growth on those programs.